without fear before our enemies. We have sworn an oath to restore Biafra, or we die in the process. There will be no retreat and no surrender. If the option they give to us is to seek our restoration by violence, every living thing living in the zoo will be destroyed. All the animals will be destroyed. It's a promise and a pledge we make to them. They must understand that we just don't.
Good evening, wonderful people, great Biafrans, wherever you are on the face of this planet. Once again, we welcome you to what we hope to be an exciting broadcast going out on all platforms of Radio Biafra, be it on YouTube, also on my private Twitter handle, also on my Instagram page. We happen to be live also on FM across Biafra land. We are on satellite. We are on IPOB community radio and also Radio Biafra application as well. If you wish to participate in our program this evening, of course, we wholeheartedly welcome you wherever you are domiciled, wherever you are residing this evening, morning, noon, or night, depending precisely on where you are. The time now is 3 minutes past 7 p.m. in the land of Biafra. If you look at your timepiece, it is exactly 3 minutes past the top of the hour, regardless of where you are. Therefore, it is a live presentation. And we are going out to the entirety of humanity. Even on Facebook, there was this little page that we opened on the ground to allow those who are called by spirit to restore Biafra to be able to listen to us. Some of them are listening to us. They have seen it and they know the signature writing on it. They can hear this broadcast on that very page right now as I'm speaking. And some of them are still doubting it. Our people are really, really strange indeed. But we are here to preach the gospel of heaven, the gospel of the restoration of the kingdom of God, as prayed by Yahweh Yeshua. But above all, I must say happy Easter to those of you who are celebrating today, because people's faith is a very personal business. Anybody is free to worship whoever and whatever they wish to worship. But what concerns me the most is that those of them that brought us Easter, those of them that brought us the European version of the knowledge of God through Christianity, are the ones supporting the Fulanis to kill us. So I'm a bit confused. So you have to forgive me if I'm not entirely enthusiastic about Easter celebrations, because the people that told us about Easter, about resurrection of Jesus Christ on the third day after he was crucified, they are the same people working with Mohammedans in the north to kill us. They are the same people that when Christians are slaughtered and killed, they say nothing. Therefore, you will permit me if I'm a little bit circumspect about this very day. But all the same, I wish each and every one of you that have celebrated so far a very happy Easter, and to those of you who are celebrating in the Americas, I believe, because it is their morning right now in places like California. I say happy Easter to each and every one of you. My name is Nnamdi Kanu. I am the leader of the largest mass movement on the face of this very earth, IPOB, the children of the light, those who are directly descended from heaven itself, Umuchineke. I am the director of Radio Biafra Television, and if not by the grace of God, we couldn't be where we are today. Therefore, I state unequivocally that by the very special grace of the Most High Elohim, a servant of the wonderful people of Biafra, and as I welcome you, please try to welcome other people as well. It is very, very important that you also welcome people regardless of where you are. The enemies will try to suppress what we are doing, but they will continue to fail as they have failed in the past. Before we go any further, as it is normal with us here, and as a routine, we are the original children of God. That is why nobody can tell me anything about Elohim in heaven, because we bear his name. Because my Redeemer liveth. That is my name. Nnamdi means my Redeemer. God Almighty in heaven liveth. And as long as he's alive, Biafra must come. We must pray this evening from where I am broadcasting from. For some of you, it may be early in the morning. Even some people are watching all the way from Melbourne in Australia. Those of them who have joined on Instagram. A lot of you are on Instagram. It is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu _official. You know, that dash you put on at the bottom. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu _official. We are there, and a lot of people are watching us. We are also on Facebook. It's just simply Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You may not know, it's a bit innocuous. It's not very visible, but if you look for it, you will find it. If you look for it, you will find it. We are live and direct. Even as I speak to you right now, some people are still doubting if that very page is official or not. Our people are amazing, and that is why I love them. Biafrans are a very exciting set of people, but they are amazing all the same. If they can sustain a mass movement of this magnitude, if they can sustain Eastern Security Network without help from any billionaire, any money bag, or any politician, they deserve our respect. That is why I do not play with IPOB, because they are a very special breed. We must pray. A very brief prayer we shall pray this evening, and I'll pray this prayer in the language of heaven itself, the language that Chukwukika created mankind in. Ezi onye nwanyị na Chineke nna nke pụrụ ihe niile, onye anyị na-agọzi aha nsọ ya mgbe niile, onye anyị na-aja mma wee na-eto wee na-akpụ isi ala nye, n'ihi na enweghị chi ọzọ ma ọ bụghị naanị gị. Ọbụla dị ya wee hụ mgbe ọ nọ n'ụwa, ọ sị na mkpụrụ obi ya ya onwe ya ka were nyefee n'aka nsọ nke gị nna nke ebere, igosipụta na ọ bụ naanị gị bụ ọkaka, ọ bụ naanị gị bụ mmalite na ọgwụgwụ isi iyi nke ndụ, Chineke nna nke ụmụ ogbenye, onye ọ bụ naanị ya na-achị, onye ike niile nọ n'ọbadara aka ya, onye okwu ya niile bụ ye na amen, onye ihe niile o kwuru ga-abịara na mmezu. Obejama ka anyị na-aja gị, otuto ka anyị na-eto gị, nsọpụrụ ka anyị na-asọpụrụ gị, onye kere eluigwe maka elu ụwa. N'ihi na ilekwa ọlụ aka gị nna nke ebere dị ngọzi, ọbịa ka mbara igwe na-egosi. Anyị wee na-arịọ mmeso ọma gị n'ime ndụ anyị, ịma mma gị, ebere gị, mgbaghara mmehie, n'ihi na anyị onwe anyị bụ anụkpa ahụ. O nweghị ihe ọ bụla na-eku ume n'ụwa na-anaghị eme mmehie wee megide gị nna nke ebere dị ngọzi, ma ọ bụghị isi n'okwu ọnụ, ọ bụrụ n'echiche, ma ọ bụghị n'echiche, ọ bụrụ na akparamagwa. Anyị wee na-arịọ gị si gị onye dị nsọ ma ruo mgbe ebighị bụ ụzọ ọbụla anyị si wee mejọọ gị, eze ebube dị ngọzi, biko gbaghara anyị mmehie. N'ihi na ndị mmụọ ozi na-eto gị n'oge agwa ha na-aja gị mma, wee na-abụ abụ ọma, ha na-ekwere gị ukwu ọṅụ, n'ihi na eboghị mmadụ, eboghị mmụọ, ịbụ Chineke. Ị naghị eri nri ka mmadụ dị ndụ, ọ bụ naanị otuto ka ị na-eri nna nke ebere dị ngọzi. Ọ bụ otuto a ka anyị na-enye gị nna nke ebere. N'aha ụmụ Biafra n'ụwa niile, ndị ezi omume ụmụ Chineke, ndị na-atụghị egwu, anyị wee na-asị anyị enweghị chi ọzọ ma ọ bụghị naanị gị, na Biafra ga-efe naanị gị, enweghị chi ọzọ nke anyị na-efe ewezuga gị. Anyị wee na-arịọ gị biko nna nke ebere dị ngọzi, ka ịhụnanya gị wee mụbaa n'ebe anyị nọ, ka iru gị wee chaa n'ebe anyị nọ. N'ihi na ọ bụ naanị gị bụ onye kere ihe niile kere eke, mana onweghị onye kere ya. Eze ndị nsọ, Chineke nna nke usu niile nke ndị agha, bịa ka iwepụrụ ụmụ gị n'ihu na azụ, aka nri n'aka ekpe, duo anyị ka anyị wee gaa n'ihu agha. N'ihi na ndị iro abatawo n'ala nsọ nke gị. Bịakwa ka iwele ndị iro ma mee ka isi wee kpuo ha, bịa ka iwele ha n'iyi. N'ihi na ụwa anyị na-ege ekpere nke anyị na-ekpere gị nna nke ebere n'abalị a, onye ime eluigwe wee na-arịọ gị ka Biafra wee bịa ọsọ ọsọ nna nke ebere, ka ụwa niile wee si n'ezie n'ezie na ụmụ Biafra bụ ụmụ Chineke. N'ihi na ọ bụ site na Biafra ka ụwa niile ga-echiwe chigheta azụ wee mara n'ezie n'ezie na onye nwe anyị na ọ dị ire n'ime ndụ anyị. Anyị enweghị chi ọzọ ma ọ bụghị naanị gị. Ọ bụ naanị gị ka anyị ji anya isi wee na-eme ọnụ mgbe niile nke anyị na-aba site n'ihi aha nsọ nke gị. Ị ga-ekwe ka ihere wee mee gị nna nke ebere. Marakwa na ọ bụ anụkpa ahụ ka anyị bụ, ofu ụbọchị anyị ga-anwụ. Aja ka anyị si wee pụta, aja ka anyị ga-echigata azụ nna nke ebere. Anyị wee na-arịọ gị si gị chetakwa na okwu nsọ nke gị na-adịgide ma ruo mgbe ebighị ebi, na o si n'ọnụ gị wee pụta na Biafra ga-abịarịrị. Anyị chigata azụ wee ọkụ aha nsọ gị n'ime mmụọ na eziokwu, na ị ga-aza anyị ekpere. Ngwa were ụmụ gị niile ebe niile ha nọ n'ụwa niile wee nyefee na ọ gbadara aka gị, sị gị nna nke ebere dị ngọzi, n'ezie n'ezie anyị emehiewo gị. Ihere onwe anyị na-eme anyị nna nke ebere, mana ọ bụ naanị gị pụrụ ịgbaghara mmehie. Anyị wee na-asị ma o nweghị ihe ọzọ, kwere n'ihi aha nke anyị onwe anyị na-aza, kwere n'ihi okwu ọgbụgba ndụ gị n'isi anyị mgbe a mụrụ anyị, Chineke nna nke igwe, wee kwere n'ihi ihe dị etu a wee mere anyị amara ka Biafra wee bịa, ka ụmụ gị were onwe ha, ka anyị wee gosi ha na omekataghị ka ọchịchịrị wee mmeri ebe ihe nọ, na anyị bụ ihe. Dịka anyị si wee na-aza n'aha anyị ihe chi ọwụwa, Chineke nna nke bi n'igwe, biko lekwe n'elu ụwa bụ ebe ntụkwasị okwu gị. Onye nwe m na Chineke nna, biko echefukwala ụmụ gị, bịa ka iwe mere anyị amara gị, ka ihere wee bụrụ nke ụmụ ekwensu ndị nọ n'ime ihere nke onwe ha site na mpụ nke ha onwe ha mepụtara nna nke ebere. Anyị wee na-arịọ gị ka ịhụnanya gị wee mụbaa n'ebe ndị gị nọ, ka i wee nye anyị mmeri n'ebe ndị iro nọ, na ndị Fulani aka nsi ha bewo ha ọnụ, n'ike ejide obodo ekwensu nke mmadụ dị ndụ kere wee laa ya n'iyi, n'ihi na ịbụ Chineke nna. Ọ bụghị ikere Biafra onye nwe m, gị onwe gị wee kee Oduduwa, o nweghị mgbe ọbụla ọ bụ gị onwe gị hiwere Naijiria, ọ bụ mmadụ dị ndụ kere ya. O nweghị ihe ọbụla mmadụ dị ndụ kere na-anaghị abịa n'isi njedebe, n'ihi na oge nke Naijiria gwụwo. Bịa ka iwe gosi ụwa na ọ bụ gị bụ Chineke nna. Ekwekwele n'ihi anya onwe anyị, ọ bụ ekwekwele n'ihi m, ma ọ bụ ihi IPOB, ma ọ bụ ndị ọzọ bụ ndị ezi omume. Kwere n'ihi okwu nsọ nke gị, n'ihi na ilekwasị anya ebe mmadụ dị ndụ nọ, na mmadụ dị ndụ na-eme mmehie wee na-ada, ma lekwasị anya ezi ebube dị ngọzi n'okwu nsọ nke gị onwe gị kwuru si n'ọnụ wee pụta na Biafra ga-abịarịrị, na ọchịchịrị ga-enyefe ihe wee bata, na ihe ahụ bụ Biafra, ka ọ ga-abụ na ikpetemazụ. Ka anyị si wee na-ekwu okwu Israel n'ụbọchị nke taa, n'ihi na mba Israel bụ ihe eji ama atụ ebe niile, n'ihi na Israel bụ ala egọziri agọzi. Etu a ka ụwa niile ga-esi wee were Biafra wee maa atụ si na ndị dị etu a bụ ndị agọziri agọzi. ọ bụ ihe a ka anyị na-arịọ onye nwe m na Chineke nna dị ngọzi site n'ebighị ebi ma ruo n'ebighị ebi. Ise onye nwe m na Chineke, my Lord and my God in heaven, we have come to preach this gospel. If you do not have a pen and paper handy, you're not going to learn very much, I assure you. If you want to understand this very gospel this evening that I'm about to preach, believe you me, you need a pen and a paper. This is the finest place you can gain knowledge and understanding. This is the best university in the world you can ever go to. If you're a black person and you wish to emancipate yourself, both consciously and subconsciously, you must listen to us. Because the presence of the Almighty is within us. That is why we are unblemished. Whiter than white and whiter than snow. Unblemished. And you'll be seeing it. We are the miracle children of the Most High. The whole world is against us. The British and their allies, even they have managed to convince the Americans as well. Fulani Janjaweed, and a few of them, as I speak in Yoruba land, that are still working for them. But they say that one with God is majority. And that is where we anchor our hope. We have no hope, we don't have any trust in the weapons of war made by man. We understand all of that. We anchor our hope only on the mercy and the divine grace of the Almighty in heaven. Abasi, Tamono, Olisa, Benigwe, and we are going to prevail. This evening, before I go on to preach, I want to pay a very special tribute to my very good friend and brother, a man that I used to rely upon, or should I say call upon, in time of need. A man that I grew very fond of, a man that I respect, a man of unimpeachable integrity. I know people use that phrase to describe some people in the zoo called Nigeria, but this man was a very great man. Not known to very many people, but I can assure you, he was a gentleman. He was very eloquent, very fluid. He was blessed immensely. But sadly, he passed on to the world beyond a few days ago. I pay tribute to my friend Yinka Udumakin, the spokesperson of Afenifere. He was a very consistent fighter and defender of the poor and the masses. He was the conscience of Yoruba land because he never wavered, not for 1 minute. Very consistent, never wavered. I do not personally subscribe to conspiracy theories, but I find it rather very shocking that a young man who is in very fine health, who succumbed to COVID-19, as they claim, a few days after castigating Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who is a murderer, a mass murderer, a killer. I hope and pray that their hand is not in it. And wherever Yinka Udumakin is, and I know that he is in heaven, I know he'll be watching on and asking us to continue what we are doing. And we can collectively assure him, or I can assure him on behalf of the noble family of IPOB all over the world, that this very quest to liberate the poor masses will continue unhindered until victory is assured, that we may dedicate it to men like him. Yinka Udumakin was a fine gentleman, a man of virtue, a man of courage, very rare courage, I must say. and valor. May his soul rest in peace. Before I came on air this evening, we received intelligence that 200 zoo soldiers were going to Nsukka in Enugu State and Ebonyi in civilian buses and an army vehicle that had machine gun mounted on top of it. I tweeted it before I came live on air. They are coming to kill. So I hope they are coming. Let me assure Biafrans this evening all over the world that if these idiots from the Sahel were to come down in their military uniform, because what they do is that they dispatch only 200, but they have Fulani Janjaweed hiding in our forests, near police barracks and police formations, or should I say army barracks and police formations. They normally give them army uniforms to come out and attack people, pretending that they're the army. Listen to this, only 200 they are sending. That means that in Onitsha barracks, in Obinze barracks at 82 Division or Hafia, there is nothing there. They think we don't know, but we know that there is nothing inside of Hafia barracks. We know that very well. Anytime they feel the need to come to support their fellow terrorists, because they are sending them to come to support those who are already on the ground, Fulani bandits and terrorists in our forests. Only 200. And now let me ask you this question. If they had soldiers all around Biafra land, apart from those manning checkpoints, do you think they will send 200 soldiers from the north? Nigeria has no army. They think we don't know, but we know. That is why they are in a hurry to should I say, to induct terrorists into the formal security architecture of the zoo called Nigeria. These are the things that some of you do not know, or you know, or you pretend not to know. I don't know what is wrong with some of you, but I can assure you categorically, you see these 200, we are going to meet them. And you will hear the story. And I can assure you that not many of them will go back alive to the north. You see, we are in freedom fighting. And we know that in freedom fighting, there are no rules. All the gloves are off. That was why we raised the dragon flag. They don't know the meaning of it. If you don't know, go back and check what it means. No rules of engagement. They will kill us, and we are going to kill them. But in the end, we are going to win, because we are not going to stop until Biafra is liberated. We can never stop. We will continue to fight. If there is only one girl and one boy left, let them continue to sire the next generation of Biafrans. We are not. I want Britain to understand this. I want all these neo-colonialists to understand something. You see, you look at us as black people. You say, oh, Biafrans, you're surrounded, you cannot do anything. But I want to now let you all understand that 1967 to 1970 is not in this era that we live in. We are all going to die together. That is a very clear assurance. We are going to perish together. That thing you're looking for, you're going to find it. And I want to reiterate once again, I don't want to see any police checkpoint in Biafra land. If you come out, you will die. I don't want to see any police checkpoint anywhere. There are two things I don't want to see nor hear about. No checkpoint by the police or the army, and no Fulani in our land as terrorists. They can live in the township if they want to, but not in our forest. They cannot be there. They have opened the gates of hell. I cannot guarantee you that any elections will hold anymore in our land. I don't know if we are suffering from politicians. I don't know where this disease is coming from. We must cure it. I want our enemies to understand how fanatical we are about this quest to liberate Biafra from the shackles of the iniquitous zoological republic. You need to understand this very clearly. We are not going to stop. We are not going back. I don't care what you say. It doesn't matter what your report says. I don't care the countries putting it together. It is irrelevant to me. What matters is the liberation of Biafra. Therefore, if Katrina Lang has any brain in her skull, if all those idiots encouraging the zoo to continue, if they have any brain in their skull, they will say, let us allow Biafra to go with their trouble, because I can assure you, as night follows day, that Biafra must come or we all die in the process. Do you know why? Because what we are looking for is what belongs to us. I am asking for something that I had before the white man came. White man is not God. He's not God. God is in heaven. I assure you, God Almighty is in heaven and his will must be done upon our lives. They are not God. Nobody can create a country for me. I decide where I want to belong to. The people must decide if Nigeria is the country or not a white man and a white woman. All these idiots suffering from inferiority complex, shame on all of you. You are foolish. Useless black people, because of your stupidity. That is why Africa is being treated the way it is today, like a trash can, more or less. As Trump said, a shithole. A white man has no business creating country for me, because I, Nnamdi Kanu, as a black man, I cannot go to Europe to create a country for them. Why then should I allow a white man and a drunken white woman to come to my land to create country for me? If you accept it, you are inferior. If you accept it, you are a nigger. If you accept it, you are stupid. In fact, you are a gorilla is better than you. A monkey is better than you. That is why they insult you abroad. That is why they kill you, because they look at you as the embodiment of stupidity. Let them come to defend one Nigeria with 200 soldiers. What they are telling us is that they don't have any soldiers. If they can bring only paltry 200 men, maybe from the Advanced Tactical Air Command in Makrodi, or maybe from Kaduna or from Bauchi, that goes to show that Nigeria has no army. And because you know that they say whom the gods want to destroy, heaven will first of all make them mad because they are foolish. Let me tell you why I know that God will destroy Nigeria beyond recognition. I will tell you why. Because they are Fulani Janjaweed, they're stupid by nature. Very hopeless, they are unthinking. The people thinking for them are the British. The reason why I told my father I must go to England to study is because I want to understand that thing, that juju they did on all of us, that made us so foolish. Now we know the medicine and we are applying it. You see, the Fulani will come because they're very foolish. They will deploy, they don't have the army to deploy to the south because they know that once they leave the north, believe you me, their own homegrown bandits will destroy them. They know it. They can see what is happening in Yemen, in Syria, in Afghanistan, where the same Janjaweed mentality obtains, backed up by a very misleading interpretation of the Quran. That is the reason why they're sending only 200. If they had an army to send, they will send a battalion. They will send a full brigade. But they do not have the soldiers to fight. This is one thing that Nigerians don't understand. They do not have it. We outnumber them by over 100,000 to 1. That is something people don't understand. We outnumber these people. They don't have the soldiers to keep everybody quiet at the same time. That is why they employ the media, they employ the fulefus, they employ the saboteurs to drive fear into you. They do not have the army to fight. Nigeria doesn't have the army. That is why they are begging Chad, ordinary Chad, one of the poorest countries in the world. That is why they are begging Niger, one of the poorest countries in the world, to come and help them to fight a so-called giant. That tells you they do not have soldiers to fight. We are the ones holding ourselves. The people now holding us down are those from the Middle Belt. If the Middle Belt people have decided to be Fulani slaves, they must come out and say it. We are conquered people. From now onwards, we are slaves. Oduduwa have indicated their willingness to be free. So have we Biafrans. Middle Belt are the people now saying they are happy to be Fulani slaves. If they are happy to be Fulani slaves, Then let them come out and tell us right now, immediately. We outnumber their army. You know, sometimes in war, you need to think. When your enemy makes a move, you calculate it, you analyze it, it tells you a lot that they may not be willing to come out to say in the open. For them to send only 200 bushmeat down to Biafra land means that they don't have any army. We are the only people they're afraid of, with all due respect to everybody else. The only people that the zoo are afraid of are Biafran people, no other person. Others can go out and protest and do rally and do, they won't talk. They know that the only people capable of forcing through this agenda of dismemberment of the zoological republic are we Biafrans. They know it very well. The advisors, they tell them every day how determined we are. We are the ones holding ourselves. So what I mean by that is that the Fulefus, Didio's talking about our state, talking about Nigeria, talking about football. You people are fools. Fulani is playing with you. I asked you a while ago, Nigeria has a female soccer team. Yes, Nigeria female soccer team. Do you see any Muslim girl there playing for Nigeria? But it's Nigeria soccer team. They want to cover themselves. You know, when we teach you about value system and the reason why or the need why people who are willing or able to come together to form a nation must have a common value system, you don't understand it because they don't teach you these things in universities. You don't, you know, you go to school, you come out even more moronic than you went to school in the first place. You have Nigeria female football team. Is there any Muslim girl that are playing for you? But it's Nigeria. And they're the ones benefiting from the zoo more than anybody else. Now, if those people they are sending to come down to our land, those 200 soldiers are there to kill their own fellow Fulani heads, but we know they cannot. Have you ever asked yourself, why is it that we know the forest where Fulani headsmen are camped? We know when they are coming to villages to attack. Have you ever asked yourself, a Fulani headsman of over, say, 80 people going into a village to murder people? They are retreating. There are police stations along the way. Have you ever asked, have you zoo people, zoo animals, Nigerians, have you ever asked yourself, why is it difficult for the police or the army to give chase after Fulani bandits and killers, after they must have sacked a village? Why are they not doing it? I don't, you know, sometimes they said God made man in his own image. In other words, giving us the ability to be able to reason and to discern. And I'm asking you this evening, for those who are listening to me, I'm asking you, have you ever actually sat down? It's not difficult. I'm not asking you to do a very difficult analysis of a complex situation or an equation. Very simple. Ask yourself, this village has been attacked by Fulani. That village, why don't they deploy helicopter gunships to go and look for them? Why is it, have you ever heard before that after an attack on a village by Fulani headsmen, that the police gave them chase or the army? Have you ever heard that before? Simple question. I'm putting this question to all the chief justices and judges of all the Biafran states. Those of you holding Biafrans, sending them to Abuja to be killed by a Fulani Janjaweed. I'm asking you a simple question. All these years you've been hearing about Fulani headsmen attack in this village, in that village. I am asking you, every time I am asking you, all the time, every time you hear about all these things, have you ever heard that 82 Division Enugu are now chasing those headsmen that came to Zowan and killed people? Have you ever heard, after the massacre in Bende, that somehow Ohafia mobilized, or Obins mobilized? Have you ever heard that headsmen are being pursued by the army or the police after an attack on a village? It's a simple question. Any day you can get your brain around this, any day, believe you me, any day you sit down and you think about what I've just said now, you will hate Nigeria more than I hate Nigeria. A land brimming with hypocrites, unrepentant hypocrites, evil people. Army are busy attacking villagers, defending themselves. None of you can reason. None of you can think and ask yourself, but so that what it means is that all these people, Fulani killers, that what they're doing is legitimate. That's what you're saying by your silence. That's what it means. That is why when I read Zoo newspapers, when I read their commentators or people talking about Nigeria, I laugh at them. Do you know why I laugh at them? Because they are very, very foolish. I have never heard before that the army attacked any camp run by bandits. I have never heard that. I have never heard that helicopter gunships went looking for Fulani terrorists. Never, ever before. Maybe against Boko Haram, because Boko Haram is killing them. That's all. Now ask yourself why that is the case. Any day you answer that question, believe you me, you will despise the zoo more than I do. These are the things you need to understand. These are the things that you need to know about your stupid one Nigeria. That is why I keep saying, when I see somebody talk, I'm a Nigerian, one Nigeria, believe you me, you are beneath an animal. You are the greatest fool. I can't even stand you. Because you're foolish. Irredeemably foolish. I'm asking you a simple question. Have you ever heard before that Fulani, have you ever heard before that after the attack at Ozo-Wane, after the attack on the Ebonyi villages, did you hear that the army are now chasing those people that came and killed innocent people? The answer is no. All you do is you lament, you can sit down. When we formed ESN to stop such rubbish, or some of you idiots were complaining, that you never blame the Fulani for coming to kill your people. No, you won't blame them. Look at Dave Umahi. Talking like a fool. Talking like a fool. Dave Umahi, talking like an idiot. He came out, he said, oh, I loved you, Fulani. I'm in love with you, Mietiala. Now you have killed my people. I was protecting you. One phone call, the idiot changed his mind and started singing a different tune altogether. They are your so-called leaders. Are these the leaders you will go to war with? Are they going to defend you when the Fulani come killing you? Or when they will come to your village? They are killing us anyway. When they now enter your are you trusting these idiots to defend you? You call your governors? I'm asking you a simple question. Do you trust them to defend you? The answer is no. There was an attack at Eleme. Fulani came and killed our mothers. Our mothers were protesting at Eleme in broad daylight. We went and found vigilante in the township, to Mount roadblock in the township. These are your leaders, yes? These are the so-called leaders that you have. Shame on all of you. And shame on your ignorance. Let them bring the 200 men. Come now, we are waiting. You think we are running away? Bring them now, bring the 200. Is it not the same AK-47 you have that we have? The same thing now that you have, isn't it? Come now, let us see. We are waiting for you. Come. How far, Tansuka? Come now, we are waiting. Ndara. When Danjuma was saying it, some of you were just, some of you read newspapers, you do nothing with it. No wonder. After traveling abroad like Obasanjo, studying engineering, you come back, you can't even build ordinary road to your Otta farm. You cannot build it yourself. You have to go and bring Julius Berger from Germany. Now I understand the reason why. Because we black people, we study, we read, we take nothing away from that thing we have read. That is why sometimes, maybe even the delay in the book that I'm writing, sometimes I think that we'll even understand what I'm writing about. We'll even have time to read it. All of you were there, you read newspapers, including everybody, you read the paper. What did the paper report? A former defense minister, the man, T.Y. Danjuma, that killed Ironsi, a Biafran, a Fulani slave, a conk Fulani, a servant of the Fulani Caliphate. He owns over 5 oil wells. A proper Nigerian, because as a Nigerian, you have to own oil well, you have to support evil, you have to hate Biafran people. Once you do all of that, you're a proper, you're now a Nigerian. Who doesn't know T.Y. Danjuma? I repeat, who does not know T.Y. Danjuma? A Fulani slave, and what did he say? If you will not listen to Nnamdi Kanu, don't listen to Radio Biafra, don't listen to IPOB, Don't listen to anybody agitating for freedom. Let us listen to a one Nigerian is what he had to say. It's out there in the public domain, but you know, black people, we just read it. This is what Danjuma said. And you just go to bed. You don't act on that thing you have learned. What did Danjuma say? I'm saying this in connection with these 200 people coming down from the zoo north. I'm saying it because of the complicity of 82 Division or Hafia Barracks, Obinze Barracks, Onitsha Barracks. What they specialize in is abducting Biafrans. That's all they do. When serious crime is being committed within their vicinity by Fulani people, they do nothing. Instead, the Fulani will go and commit atrocities and run into the barracks. And one day we'll chase them into their barracks. Can I just repeat what I've just said? One day we are going to pursue them into either Obinze Barracks or Hafia Barracks or Onitsha. Anywhere they run to, we'll pursue them there. And that day, I want you to remember the broadcast tonight that I said it. Nigerian army harboring Fulani terrorists in our land. One day you will get it hot from us. I will tell you what Danjuma said. Danjuma said, the armed forces of Nigeria are not neutral. Do you know what is paining me? This was the submission. This was the submission. This was the submission that Danjuma made to British government, to Britain. This was the, I don't know, why is this thing jumping? Why are they putting me back on old program? What is going on? What is going on? Zoo people, are you tampering with my broadcast or what? What is happening? What is happening? People are tampering with zoo people. They're all over the place. What did Daniel read it for you? The armed forces of Nigeria are not neutral. What it means is that the armed forces of Nigeria are working for Fulani interest. Because maybe sometimes when we read this grammar, all this grammar, some of us don't understand what it means. I will break it down for you. The armed forces of Nigeria are not neutral, which means you see your soldier, our boys, our soldiers, they are working for Fulani interest. They collude with armed bandits. A former defense minister, somebody who fought against Biafra, somebody that has 5 oil wells. In other words, it is in his interest for Nigeria to continue. What is he saying? He is saying that your so-called Nigerian armed forces are supporting Fulani terrorists. Those that came to Ozo to kill us. That was why the army did not respond. Those that went to kill us, that was why the army and police never responded. Instead, they will come and try to stop us from exacting revenge against these people. And when Danjuma said this thing and it was widely published and reported, where did your brain go to? I'm asking all of you, where did your brain, your skull, where did it go to? Does it mean you didn't quite understand what was happening or what? Danjuma said that the reason why, let me repeat, the reason why Fulani bandits are everywhere killing people is because Nigeria army is with them, working with them and supporting them. Do you know the funniest thing? This submission was made to United Kingdom government by Danjuma. Is Danjuma a Biafran? Danjuma was the man that killed Ironsi. Nobody can accuse him of loving Biafra or IPOB or having any, should I say, secessionist tendencies. And this particular submission was adopted by the Special Parliamentary Group in the UK Parliament. Both some members of the House of Lords and members of the House of Commons, they adopted this. It was in their report. You know what is paining me? Katrina Lang saw all of this. They saw all of these things. They have seen it. They have seen all of these things. They know very well what is happening. Britain knows that Nigeria army that they're helping is supporting terrorists. According to Danjuma, do you know what they do? The army help the terrorists to kill people. They kill Nigerians. That is what Danjuma said. They facilitate their movements. In other words, the army are the people telling the terrorists where to go. Go to Zone 1. If you call us, if they call us, will not respond. Go there, attack them. That is why they have Fulani police commissioners. Fulani commandant. In every army barracks, you have Fulani. In every police station, there is Fulani. Why do you think they are doing it? Why? I'm asking you. Do you have brain at all in your skull? Where did your brain go to? All of? I'm asking you a simple question. Do you have brain at all in your skull? Do you have brain at all? Simple question I'm asking all of you. The Nigerian army, according to Danjuma, a former defense minister and a general, a major general, in fact, a general, full general, they facilitate the movement of the terrorists, Nigerian army. They cover them. If you depend on armed forces to stop the killings, you will all die one by one. We ignored this warning. That was the reason why they came to Ozo 1. They have killed there 4 times. They came to Ebonyi. Every day they're attacking Ebonyi and killing villagers. And you know the funniest thing, Britain knows all of this. And on top of that, they are lying. I have never seen the United States before send any fact-finding mission, or Britain for that matter, to say, go and ascertain if what people are saying is correct. That is the reason why I believe that there is a conspiracy against black people. If we cannot get them with HIV/AIDS, we get them with Lassa fever. If Lassa fever cannot kill them, we get them with COVID-19. If COVID-19 cannot kill them, then we support dictators in the continent of Africa to be killing their citizens, and we will not talk. That's what they're doing. This is another strategy at population reduction. Britain is using the Fulani to reduce the population of indigenous people because it is win-win for them. The less black people you have in the world is better for Britain. It's better for them. That's what they want. Have you not seen that video? If you watch that, there's a video, you will be in shock. They said they want to reduce world population by 3 billion, and from Africa mostly. So if COVID cannot kill them, HIV/AIDS cannot kill them, Ebola cannot kill them, Lassa fever cannot kill them, and malaria cannot kill them, then let us sponsor people like Fulani people think them. Is gain for us. Some of you don't know this, and that is what I'm telling you this evening. That is why we are taking our time to educate all of you, that you may understand. Why have you ever heard? Look at Fulani in Yoruba forest killing people. Have you ever heard that after an attack on a village, that the army and the police went out with their hillocks in pursuit of Fulani? Never. If that has never happened, then ask yourself this question: why is it that the army never pursue Fulani killers after an attack on a village? Then you'll understand why they have how Fulani police commissioners and Fulani commandant, army barracks, commandant all over the place. They planned this thing very well. Their main advisors are the British. Britain does not want Africa to develop. Britain has no, forget all that stupid, nonsensical grants. They give them grants and loan and aid. Rubbish, pure rubbish. They don't want you to develop. That's why they support idiots and fools in power. That is the reason why they issued the nonsensical Lekki report on the shooting. And there was something that Frederick Douglass said. I'm quoting this thing for Britain so they understand. Britain, you know how stubborn we are. We Biafran people, you know how stubborn. Igbo people, you know, you acknowledged many years ago that there are 3 races you are not able to subdue. The Irish, the Igbo people, and the Kikuyus of Kenya. You said it with your own mouth. These are the 3 tribes you could not subdue. You said it yourself. That is how we are born. In our bones is the yearning for freedom. We are born free. We are free people from before the Isles of Britain were formed by tectonic forces. Before the island of Britain started drifting away from Europe. Before the English Channel existed. The ancient people occupied the present day Biafra land. They believed in freedom. That is why we are the only people that answer autonomous community anywhere in the world. The reason being that we don't want to be under anybody we don't want to be under. Forget what happened after the war. All the Oabia Seekers and their generation that you groomed to be telling us rubbish every day. Our eyes are now very much open. You can no longer deceive us. Never. Where justice is denied, where poverty is enforced, where ignorance prevails, as in the case of the zoo. They are telling that the army is supporting the Fulani people. You are there, our army, our soldier, our police, idiotically talking rubbish every day. Where ignorance prevails, as it is in the zoo called Nigeria, where any one class is made to feel that society is an organized conspiracy to oppress them, rob and degrade, neither persons nor properties will be safe. That is what I want Britain and their lapdog of Fulani to understand. And all of you idiots answering Nigerians, you are all fools. I will say it, in fact, I say it to your faces anyway. What can you do? All the Nigerian fools, all the idiots that answer Nigeria, the idiots who didn't go to school, because if you are learned, I swear you cannot answer Nigerian. You cannot. I want to let all of you understand this. There will be no peace. None whatsoever until Biafra is free. There will be no peace. I guarantee you that. None whatsoever. You people don't like a gentle approach. You don't like people doing things in a very gentle manner. I know you don't like it. And let me tell you where we are all going to end up. All of us are going to die. Everybody will perish. Since that is what you want. Since that is what, if we know it is the oil and gas that you want, come out and say we need oil and gas. We will separate because Fulani does nothing, they produce nothing, they add nothing to the economy. Absolutely nothing. Only banditry and terrorism, if you consider those two elements as a viable economic undertaking. Do you understand? Did you see that, there was a picture published by Chinasa and a few other people, I saw it circulating, where Catherine Lang assembled the so-called stakeholders in the zoo. Them and I think the French assembled them, telling them about one Nigeria. Do you know when I saw this picture earlier today, I wish somebody can put it on this page on Facebook where I'm broadcasting, or maybe on Instagram, even on Twitter as well. When I saw that picture, I was shocked. It reminded me of in fact, this picture confirms that Nigeria has come to an end, because before anything comes to an end, it must travel a full circle, or should I say cycle. It must perform 360 degrees loop. This was how the white man and white women came to Nigeria and was assembling all of you like idiots, telling you why you should be in one Nigeria, why they have created Nigeria for you. The same thing that Lugard and Shaw did is what Catherine Lang is now doing, which means Nigeria has come to an end. The full cycle has been attained. The same way they started is how they are ending. They are begging, oh, please come, be one Nigeria. All of you must be together. Why are you begging me? Catherine Lang, why is the British begging me to be part of Nigeria? Why? If they're not gaining anything, why? I ask you. Where we come from, there's something we say, Okum nazu, okum na ponala, yakusam. I don't want. You're carrying me on the back and my leg is almost on the floor. Scratching and bruised. Please drop me. I don't want it. Britain is pretentious. You pretend you care, but you don't care. You are evil and you're wicked. You pretend. Why are you calling this meeting? Because by all of you being on this table, all these monkeys I can see here, by all of these fools being on this table, it means that the oil and gas will keep on flowing for free. But some of you are too foolish and too idiotic to understand it, because you are zoo animals. You are Nigerians. Your brains do not function properly. None of you is properly educated. I don't give a damn how many awards you may have won abroad. Pure rubbish. I don't give a toss how good your command of English language is. Pure crap and rubbish. You cannot reason. Let me ask you a simple question. Where else in the world can an ambassador gather the stakeholders in that country, lecturing them on how to run their country? Where else? You people are the ones degrading and demeaning Africa. You idiots here, the useless fools. Look at them with a little white woman. Black people in this UG. God forbid. God forbid you people. As the person wrote, they can see that the center can no longer hold. That is why Britain is now publicly controlling Nigeria. Public. They're taking over the army. They're the ones now advising. But where God is punishing them is that they cannot bring white soldiers and put them on the ground in Nigeria. They cannot do it. So they're still relying on Fulani Janjaweed. They're still relying on you fools. They are using hunger to entice you to enroll or to enlist into the army. They know what they are doing because you are black, because you're foolish. You cannot understand that these people are toying with you. How many times has any ambassador in Britain called a meeting of British stakeholders to tell them how to run their country? Or to ask Scotland not to leave the UK? This UG black people, when will you ever reason? When will you, I don't know what if what is killing me is when I consider the ignorance of a black man and my brain wants to explode. I'm asking you a simple question. All these idiots here sitting down, some will claim they have PhD. Why are you listening to a little white woman from England? Don't you have shame? You have no shame? They want you to be in one Nigeria so they can have unrestricted access to oil and gas. That is all. Not that they love you. Because if they love you, if they are genuine, they would have stood up to say that what happened at Lekki was wrong. The army killing innocent people is wrong. Army abducting people is wrong. Kalamad report must be investigated. Amnesty report on the massacre of Biafrans should be investigated. Zaki Biam should be investigated. Or the massacre should be investigated. The persecution of Shia Muslims should be investigated. They will never do any of those things. It's only about oil and gas. And you, being the black fools that you are, this UG black, at least I give them one thing. Before white people come out to cast aspersions, they must have seen something in you. And I keep asking you this. The same way that blacks are insulted all over the world, is it how Asians are insulted? Or should I say Africans? Let me not use the word black. Is it how they are insulted? We are being insulted because we deserve it. We are useless. Let us be honest. We are useless. If we are not useless, why is it that a population of 200 million people, you cannot stand up and ask yourself, why is it after every bandit attack on a village, the army can never locate them? Why? Why is it that this little white woman, Catherine Lang, is the one presiding over a meeting telling you how to keep your country one? Does it mean that your brain cells are not working? We are telling them, you cannot keep us together by force. I want to analyze something that a very intelligent, brilliant Yoruba man wrote. Francis Ojo, or Ojo, I don't know how to pronounce it. Ojo, I think it is. Not Ojo, Ojo. Francis Ojo. He wrote, I'm going to analyze what he wrote here. And I want everybody this evening, after this very program this evening, to go back to understand, to study this program, to listen to it over and over again, to understand how foolish and idiotic black people are, truly are. How Fulani took over all of you. Francis Ojo wrote. I love this piece. In fact, after this program, I want it everywhere. I want every blogging site to carry it. I want every newspaper in the zoo to carry it, so that you can see for yourselves how idiotic and stupid all of you are. You useless Nigerians. I want you to understand how foolish you are. In front of you, Fulani did not go to school. Only with cattle they are controlling all of you. Only cattle they control you. They say it is stop them. It is what they are saying is not good. It is hate speech. They call what I say hate speech, but what they have is hate action. Francis Ojo, thank you very much. I want to analyze what you wrote. Now listen. The strategy of the British, not Fulani, the strategy of the British in Nigeria is foolproof. Yet every project they undertake invites its own risk. I'm analyzing what somebody else wrote. I will continue. The master strategist is a master risk evaluator, but the people advising the Fulani on what to do, they are not master strategists. They made a very fatal mistake. And because I did it with Janjaweed and then Achinama, what do you expect? It is clear that those who conceived this project designed it in its key elements and planned its implementation. However, they failed to factor in risk management into the equation. And this is Francis Ojo's evaluation of the project design and plans to hand over Nigeria to Fulani nations of Africa. Nigeria is going to be the homeland of Fulani people. Some of you are sleeping. You are idiotically going through life every day in the zoo, not understanding what is going on, not understanding what is happening. But today I am going to enlighten you, courtesy of this, our brother that wrote this very compelling piece. What is their plan? Before they can bring in every Fulani to settle in Nigeria, they must first of all dominate you. Secondly, they will seize your wealth and they will enslave you. They will take full control of your political power. They will take every arm. They want all the guns and bullets to be under their control. And they will deny everybody else any form of access to weapons. They will take control of every major income organ of the government. They will deny everybody else access to funds, and I'll prove it to you tonight. Finally, they will move in and take over your land and your forests. That is what has been happening in the zoo since 2015. And I want to prove it to you tonight. I want to prove it to you tonight. I will prove it to you tonight so that you may understand what life has in store for all of you in the damnable zoological republic. Thanks to our brother. What did he say here? This is their design. They will dominate you. And for Britain to give Fulani exclusive control to dominate everybody else, they started very cleverly. What they did to IPOB when we started as well, they said that the Igbo man is domineering. You understand? Britain cleverly designed that with their Fulani counterparts. Unfortunately, some Yorubas fell for it, shamefully. Igbo man is domineering. As they were telling you Igbo man is domineering, they went behind the back and we are grooming Fulani to dominate you. Do you understand it? Now, they say Igbo man is domineering. And I want mention for me how many people in the so-called stupidly named Niger Delta has oil well. Every oil well is owned 90% by Fulani. But before they were telling you Igbo man is coming to dominate you, reason, Chineke, how black people, this Yoji, can you reason for once? I'm begging you to reason. Only once, please. Igbo man is domineering, but the Fulani owns all the oil wells. That's number one. They will seize your wealth. They have taken over everything. They have shared it. Britain can take oil and gas for free. They don't care as long as Fulani controls everybody, everything else, and they will enslave you. What do you understand as slavery? Oh, you think, until you go and start washing plates for them in the north, then you are not their slave. Let me give you a very simple example. Before Obiano was re-elected, he took off his red cap to beg Jubril to put him back into power. Do you know what is slavery? Slavery is Imo State. They started killing Fulani. Before your eyes, they claim this doing democracy. Do I speak this thing in Igbo language so people can understand me? Koro before your eyes. Hope Uzodinma was not declared the winner, not the number one, not number two, not number three. He came fourth in an election. Before all of your eyes, in front of the American Embassy and British High Commission, Supreme Court of Nigeria declared Hope Uzodinma the winner. Let me tell you something. That was from that day, I've no longer talked about fake Buhari National Council, because that was the day I knew, believe you me, that the white man was right. There is something wrong with the black people. I'm telling you the truth. Something is wrong with us. He came number 4. He was the 4th on the list after the contest in Imo State. They went to Supreme Court, full of learned people, wearing horse wig, learned, black people without shame. When you look at them, you are looking at Satan and Lucifer. You see, as ugly as anything you have ever seen in your life. Go and look at their faces, the so-called Supreme Court judges in Nigeria. As ugly as hell. Very ugly men and women. They embody everything that is evil about black people. Do you know what they did? They gave the vote to Uzodinma. Supreme Court in a court of law. Supreme Court. They asked them, but how did he win? They said they did not tally his votes very well. INEC said about 950,000 people are registered voters. How come your own tally is almost over 1 million? Where did you get it from? Shut up there. We are the apex court, Supreme Court. INEC said, no, sir. Don't be offended. The total number of voters in Imo State is less than what you are giving Hope Uzodinma. They said, we are the apex court. We cannot revisit Taiwo versus Akredolu versus 1945. Supreme Court. Supreme Court of Nigeria. Simple question. This is INEC register. The people set up by law to conduct elections. They said that about 900,000 people are on our register as registered voters in Imo State. But you are now calculating for us, telling us there's nearly 1 million voters in Imo State. Are you working for INEC? Which register is that? They said, oh, we have our own list, a list given to them by APC. Fulani Janjaweed Party. That is slavery. They impose upon you whoever they want to impose on you. You are nobody. You can't do nothing. That is the meaning of slavery if you don't know. Hope Uzodinma signifies slavery and damnation upon our people. If you don't know, let me tell you. All your education is a waste. All that crap, speaking useless grammar, talking complete waste. You're a slave. You ask me how. Then I'll ask you to look at Imo State Douglas House. How can somebody who came fourth, not even second, not third, emerge as the governor of a state? Where did Supreme Court get their own voters register from? INEC testified and said to the court, you have higher number of voters than we have on voters register. Where did you get it from? From APC government. And you claim you're a Nigerian. Yeah, I mean, we Nigerians. Mad people everywhere. Your brain cells are, every Nigerian is a lunatic. Is a complete mad idiot. Every Nigerian is. Complete fool. Complete fool. I despise them. Complete idiots from top to bottom. Today, Hope Uzodinma is sitting at Sambakwe's chair. A sacrilege, if you ask me. Presiding over the affairs of Imo State. From number 4. Supreme Court of Nigeria. Apex Court. Apex. Hi, black people on this UG. Now you know you're slaves in the zoo. Now they're telling you, if you don't join APC, you cannot win. Because they know they are waiting for you. INEC will write the result, and that's it. Only in Edo State where people were shouting. And America, for once, I don't know what possessed them, said if you rig elections in Edo, no visa for you to US. They now sat back and Obaseki won. That's all. If not, it's back as usual. If at all he has won. Now listen very carefully. They will enslave you. They will take full control of political power. Every armed forces is under their control. And they would remember that it was when we formed ESN with our own AK-47 that they now said, if you say anybody with AK-47, shoot the person aside. But all the years, Fulani has been carrying guns. Nobody has ever shot them all. But when we rose up to defend ourselves, they said, go and shoot them. Some just are writing, is it legal? Those asking me if ESN is legal, are you telling me that the killing of our people by Fulani Janjaweed, that's also one, and they are legal? Are they legal acts? You're asking me to wait for police to investigate. The same police that Danjuma told you are colluding with them, the same army colluding with them. Don't you have brain in your skull? They have taken over political power. They own INEC. INEC will not resort now. All arms are under their control. And they will deny everybody access to arms. And they will move in to take over your space. That is why Yoruba people are in Benin Republic as refugees. Your papers won't report it in the zoo, but it's true. That's why I'm asking a fact check AFP. Why have they not done fact check on what I'm saying? Do we have Yoruba people as refugees in Benin Republic or not? Simple yes or no answer. But there are some Yoruba people shouting, one Nigeria. We Nigerians. The same Nigeria that put their brethren, we black people, we lack empathy, we have no soul, we have no, we are the embodiment of evil. Very wicked set of people. And black people are wicked. The definition of wickedness you find in a black man, very, very envious, evil, and wicked. I'm telling you the truth. You have Yoruba people in Benin Republic as refugees. A Yoruba editor is writing in Lagos, we Nigerians, we are in one Nigeria. Let's keep Nigeria one. The same Nigeria that put you in Benin Republic as a refugee. And yet you're not fighting a war because Fulani wants to take over your land. Now, our dear brother Francis Ojo now went further to, he put it in phases, phase 1, phase 2, how they did it. Phase 1, Fulani took over all the 3 organs of government. Classic pincer movement. Today, according to our dear brother, all 3 arms of government. You know what is the executive? That's the presidency. The legislature, which is House of whatever they call it, Senate and the House of Reps. The Chief of Staff, the President of the Senate, Chief Justice of the Federation, Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, even the Speaker of the House of Reps. He was a Muslim, converted to Christianity. When he wanted to be the Speaker of the House of Representatives, he went back to, he became a Muslim again. That is slavery. Before he became the Speaker of the House, he reconverted from Christianity to Islam. And you say you're not slaves in the zoo. Unbelievable. The Chief Justice of the Federation, Janjaweed. And whoever controls political power controls everything. That is when I hear people saying, those some people saying, invest at home. Take your investments home. The person who determines if your investment will get home or not are those in Abuja controlling the power. You can decide to relocate your factory from Abuja to Hitoboma. And on the way, near before you get to Hamufu, customs will park you on one side and say that your brake light is not showing very well. We are going to the station. They will go to the station. They will tell our guy who is a Fulani Janjaweed, or guy DPO, this man wants to go and build factory in Hitoboma. He will say, park him inside the yard. We are waiting for Abuja for clearance. It will decay there because they hold political power. That's something you don't know, do you? How did Obasanjo destroy stock market? Our stockfish market in Aba. How did they destroy our market, second-hand clothing, textile in Aba? One stroke of the pen in Lagos, all destroyed completely overnight. Political power, you'll be talking about Akuru, but that nonsense. Oh, economic fund for Igbo. Mad people everywhere. The person holding the pen is holding your destiny. You dumbos, you don't have nothing in your brain. PhD, we are learned, we the elite. Whoever controls political power controls everything. That is why the Fulani will tell you that the Yoruba, they have the economy, the Igbos, they have the petty trading, and them they have nothing else. If you take away government from us, we have nothing else, because Britain told them. Britain, first of all, armed the Fulani, gave them the military. That's number one. They control the guns and they control the signature of power. All of you are slaves. Doesn't matter what you say. That is that one is phase one. Oh. I'm coming to phase two. That is their plan. This is how they plan to take over your lives, to render you inconsequential and useless. Whereas using Yoruba papers, punch, all this Yoruba paper, Tribune, to be massaging you, our Nigeria, our country, the first Nigerian to win Grammy Award, the first Nigerian to win Oscar. If a Nigerian has run 100 meters to be massaging all your foolishness and your idiocy, while following an own engine, going underground and moving into your villages. Phase two of your ignorance. Phase two of your ignorance. Listen, we have given you phase one. This is phase. I am going to publish this. This is a lesson. This should be studied in every university. It's a lesson. How Fulani conquered all of you. In broad daylight, Koro conquered you and took over your land. Asoku Kandiara. Mad people. Fulani took over your land. Without Barekatol. Came to, we are not Biafra, we are Portuguese, we are South, we are Niger Delta. Do you own any oil well? The answer is no. You fools. Because Britain understands that if you join Biafra, they can no longer have free access to your oil and your gas fields. Idiot, understand it. It's common sense. Divided you fall. Phase two, they moved to put all arms, gun. That's what arms means, gun and bullet. Fulani moved to put every gun and bullet under Fulani control. How did they do it? You ask. Our brother told us how they did it. This evening, I will tell you how they managed to do it in very simple arithmetic. Chief of Army Staff, Fulani. Chief of Naval Staff, Fulani. Which means that the head of the army of the whole of Nigeria is a Fulani man. Mind you, president is Fulani. Also, they speak. It's Fulani presidency because Buhari is long dead. Well, I'll come into that this year. Chief of Army Staff, the controller of, because when I say Chief of Army Staff, some of them, because they no longer teach you anything in your schools, you may not understand what it means. Chief of Army Staff means the man, that controls the army. It's Fulani. Chief of Naval Staff, you know those that wear white in the desert, those morons, they wear white. Somebody from somewhere where there is no water, from an arid desert, is the Chief of Naval Staff, dealing with water. Or should I say armaments on top of water? Chief of Naval Staff is Fulani. IG of police, the overall of police. You see those police you see. Their controller is Fulani. The Director General of DSS, those ones that kidnap people at night in the name of state security. Is Fulani, DSS is Fulani. The National Security Advisor, the one that will tell the presidency where to take troops to inside Nigeria, is Fulani. Hey, and you all of you come, you went to school, Nigerians. I've graduated now. I read law. I read agric engineering. I want to do my youth service. Now I know that you, your brain cells are not complete. Now listen. National Security Advisor, Fulani. Minister of Defense, Fulani. These are the people that control arms and decide where troops go. Commander of NSCDC. I think it's Civil Defense, Fulani. Chairman of NDLEA, Drugs Agency, Fulani. Not minding that Fulani people take more tramadol than anybody else. All intelligence services, military and civilian, are all Fulani. Now, tell me the definition of domination. Those of you that claim you're from South Nigeria, all that rubbish. Now, define domination for me. Define it. Ndinzuzu. People without brain, define domination for me. Ndiara. It's not. Oh, you think I finished? No, I have not finished though. Everybody you see carrying gun in Nigeria, the Ogapata is Fulani. So, in other words, you will have to rely on a Fulani man to give you order to pursue a Fulani terrorist killing your mother in the village. And the order will never come. Are you understanding it? We are just bringing down the kingdom of heaven to come down to this earth, which is the land of Biafra, the land of the rising sun, the oldest place, the center of the whole world, 0 longitude and 0 latitude, where Elohim planted the first living being, the oldest language in the world, bar none. Unashamedly, I proclaim it. If you have any contrary opinion, you bring it to the table. Come with facts and figures. Now listen to me very carefully, please. I have not finished. The director of NIA, National Intelligence Agency, Fulani, the director of Military Intelligence, Fulani, the director of Naval Intelligence, Fulani, the director of Air Force Intelligence, Fulani, immigration of Fulani, prisons of Fulani, and the list is endless. And you are in Nigeria. A Igbo man will dominate you. Hey, believe a warrior. You believe a warrior. Gospel of heaven. Are they going to disprove it? Those of them is a hate speech. Are you telling me that the heads of all these ministries, all these arms-bearing ministries, are false? They are no longer Fulani, is that what you're saying? Now listen. Those who have command of arms in a country are masters of the state and having their power to make whatever changes they please. They have the government in Asorok, they have army, they have air force, they have police, they have immigration, they have customs, they have intelligence agencies. Everywhere is them, police, everything is full on Janjaweed. They decide who lives and who dies. They decide who to proscribe and who to leave. Do you know why they have not proscribed or do the agitation? Because they don't want to pour fuel into the fire. They are very crafty. Britain told them, oh no, don't touch them, don't touch Yoruba. Focus on Biafra. You cannot fight war on two fronts. Very simple, very clever. So Amayo Duduwa brothers can agitate in the open, no problem. Nobody will open fire on them. Oh dear. Every organ licensed to bear arms in Nigeria, their Ogapata is Fulani. We continue our gospel. Nigerians must surrender their arms except Fulani headsmen. Still not fully comfortable with the capacity of other Nigerians to offer resistance After we launched our, ESN, warriors of God. ESN, warriors of God, I'm telling you. Eastern Security Network. They never said anything about banning everybody once we launched ESN. And I would do the word, brethren, they rose up as well to say enough is enough. They made the announcement. Nigeria police that previously never saw any AK-47 and never challenged them openly. I challenged the Nigerian police and Nigerian army to tell me where they engaged Fulani terrorists in the forest before. In the whole of Nigeria, where? In Kaduna. Instead of fighting them, El Rufai was giving them money. Nigerian army was ferrying weapons to them. PhD holders, learned, we the elite, learned people in Nigeria. Name one single instance or incident where Nigerian army or police engaged rampaging Fulani headsmen. Name one location. And how many Fulani attacks have we had in the past 5 years? Over 1,000. Not one single police or army response or confrontation with these murderers from the Sahel. What does that tell you about your one Nigeria? What does that tell you about one Nigeria? All you need to know in the one Nigeria. Ignorance is a disease. They never acknowledged that Fulani people were bearing AK-47 until they announced it. Every Nigerian 21 days unlicensed guns, bring it back. And this was targeted at Eastern Security Network and nobody else. And the Fulani bearing terrorists and murderer, a rapist and a bandit. Till today, they're still carrying their guns till this very minute in the zoo. How many of them have they arrested? How many, I'm asking you? With those of you idiots that believe in your useless one Nigeria, how many people have they arrested so far bearing arms? Fulani? None. Instead, they give them more. They even give them army uniform. Again, there was something that Aristotle said. He said, both oligarch and tyrant mistrust the people and therefore deprive them of their arms. Anybody who is asking you not to be armed, that person is an oppressor. Is a tyrant. Danjuma said you should get arms. Former defense minister of Nigeria, when his village came under attack, he now realized and said, oh, please go and get arms. So all of you go and get your guns and your weapons. Phase 4 of your conquest. You Nigerian idiot from the south, phase 4 of your conquest. They took over all your money. Do you know in Nigeria, even if you have a USD account, a DOM account, you cannot send money abroad. They had what they call the single TRO, that STA account, or that rubbish. Remember that when Buhari was alive, the first thing he did was to consolidate and centralize the money. They want to deprive you of your money. That's what they're doing. They brought in BVN, CCN, NIN. Every day is control. Some of you fail to see it because you're blind. You are all educated in the zoo. You know nothing. You didn't go to that thing is not school. They went to plant ignorance in your brain. You think you're going to school doing your lectures. What they were feeding you is subservience and ignorance. How to be subservient and an ignorant fool in a country of fools. They deprived you of money. It's called the single treasury account, STA. That's how they started. They say it's to fight corruption. But who is more corrupt now than this Fulani regime? Nobody in history. Are you Nigerians? Are you human beings at all? Are you all these idiots? I say I'm a Nigerian. Are you sure you're normal? Hey dear, how did they do it? Every single treasury account. And what produces that money that goes into the account in Nigeria is oil and gas from Biafra land, NMPC. which accounts for 76% of federal revenue, 40% of overall gross domestic product, and 98% of all export earnings is under one man, one Fulani man. His name is Mele Kyari from Abba Kyari clan, from the family. Are you understanding now? One Nigeria, Niger Delta, South. Are you focusing now? Is your brain working? The same slave master, the Kyaris, Fulani Brono. Should I preach on or should I stop? Because Zulu people are animals. I just want to stop. The Zulu people who cannot reason very well. Fulani has taken all of you over. They have conquered all of you. Maybe there's something in Suya. There's something in Fulani cow. I'm telling you the truth. After all, they make love to the cow. They wash their face with the urine from the cow. Everything from the cow. They do. Maybe I don't know what they have done to us. Maybe it's from the cow. People said I should preach the gospel of heaven. From heaven itself. The 4 highest revenue earners we are put in the hands of Fulani Muslims from the north. NMPC is in their hands. Federal Inland Revenue Service is in their hands. Oh God in heaven. God in Nigerian Ports Authority is in their hands. Customs, Fulani. Colonel Hamid Ali, a Muslim Fulani. That is not all. How about people that spend money in Nigeria? How about those governmental departments that spend now? I've told you those that collect the money from all of us or sell oil and gas for us, all Fulani. How about those that are now going to spend the money? Defense, Department of Finance, Education, Justice, Federal Capital Territory, Agriculture, Police Affairs, Aviation, Communication, Power, Water Resources, and Humanitarian Affairs. All of them are headed by, surprise, surprise, Fulani. Those that get the money, Fulani. Those that spend it, Fulani. They need to control the money. That is how they were able to bribe the U.S. ambassador to Nigeria to write stupid, idiotic report about Lekki shootings. With that money, they can buy over AFP to issue fake news and also fact-check the fake news. From that money, they can pay off Facebook. From that money, they can pay Wall Street Journal. They can buy off BBC. They can buy off CNN. In other words, they can come to the streets of Abuja and slaughter as many Shia Muslims as they like. You will not hear PIM anywhere in the world. From this money, they bribe United Nations officials and diplomats. From this money, they bribe African Union. From this money, they bribe EU. EU, they bribe them, they give them money. And we are all slaves, all of you, because you are ignorant. Very, very ignorant. And sadly so. Sadly so. Now listen to me. The list has not finished though. EFCC. Now Fulani is so clever. Fulani controls where the money comes from, NMPC, customs, all the rest of it. Fulani decides who spends the money. Fulani in defense, finance. And Fulani is now in charge of who commits corruption or who steals money. EFCC is Fulani. There's this little boy, I don't know if he's even up to 25 years of age. They put as EFCC Director General. Fulani. ICPC, Fulani. NFIU, Fulani. PDTF, you see, PTDF, Fulani. All those idiotic acronymed agencies telling you a Federal Airports Authority, even Fulani, FAN, they call it. FAMA, Federal Road Maintenance Agency, Fulani. NTA, Fulani. NYSC. Fulani. No wonder they see Nigeria as an Islamic state. And then they brought Okada to you. All those Okada people you're saying, if you can speak passable Fulfude or Hausa, they give you Okada, you come to the south. They were their spies for very many years. They were their, should I say, sleeper cells that they implanted into our villages. It's those shining shoes for us, those who are cutting our nails. You didn't know that they were spies and agents of Fulani Janjaweed march to the Atlantic Ocean. Now they are everywhere, like locusts everywhere. And they are the people now killing and maiming at will. In the daytime, they are Okada riders. In the evenings, they are Fulani terrorists in the bushes. They have now occupied our forest. Phase 6, they are now in our forest telling us, the same people they said we are foreigners before, they're now telling us that they are entitled to ranches in our home towns and villages. I know that Umahi has signed up to it. But as you know, we have ESN, there'll be no ranch. I'm sure you know that. It cannot happen. Other people can play with that rubbish, but not anywhere in Biafra land. And if you're a governor and you want a second term, you now have to agree to Ruga or Fulani settlement in your state. Then INEC will write for you, or you enter into agreement with Mieti Allah. You people are truly slaves. Truly slaves. One thing they never counted upon was the resilience. And they never say die attitude of your average Biafran. We don't support evil. We are free people. And Britain wants to experiment with Biafran people. They want to prove to themselves that we are white people, so we are the gods of black people. Anything we say you're going to do is what you're going to do because we are white and you're black. Oh, dear me. How mistaken they are. How mistaken they are. We are going to fight until the last person to be free. Do you know how many terrorist Fulani cells there are in Yoruba land? 1,123 Fulani camps inside Yoruba land, inside their forests. And they are confusing Yoruba people with Tinubu, using Tinubu to confuse them. Presidency, Tinubu, the Fulani and Yoruba are one, but Fulani are in your forest. How many Yoruba people are in Fulani forest in the north? 1,123. The Fulani cells are distributed in groups of at least 15 to 20 people, complete with women, arms, and other, should I say, materials of long-term occupation. Yoruba land is gone. Dayan and Pemba, write it down tonight. Yoruba land is gone. 1,100. We are engaging those in our land. Ours was 350 something. ESN is engaging them every blessed day. Yoruba have about 1,123 Fulani cells, active terror cells in Yoruba land. Maybe that's why they killed Yinka Odumakin, because he was a critic of Tinubu. Maybe they poisoned. Britain is there. Maybe they poisoned him. And then Amoteku came, and they shouted and shouted, and they watered down Amoteku until it became nothing. But thankfully, men have now risen up in the West. In the West. And I told you a while ago that is the reason why they have the likes of Obasanjo. Sheikh Gumi, the sheikh of bandits, met with Obasanjo, closed door meeting, maybe to remind Obasanjo of what he owes them. They love telling people, we made you who you are. I remember one time that Jerry Ghana rose up to speak his mind. They said, shut up there. We made you who you are today. We Fulani made you. And he shut up very quickly. Maybe they're reminding, because it's in the news here, in Punch newspaper. Gumi, northern leaders in closed door meeting with Obasanjo, northern leaders. They won't come to the east. They know that IPOB is in control of the east. They cannot come. Nobody to meet with. They went to the west. Because Britain told them, once you have Yoruba alliance with Fulani, you can do whatever you like. And as I'm saying to you, my Yoruba brothers and sisters, if you allow yourselves to be deceived, no generation in the world will forgive you again. Never until the kingdom come. The name Oduduwa and Yoruba will be synonymous with infamy forever and ever. If you allow yourselves to be bought over by Tinubu and by Obasanjo, to go back to Fulani again. Believe you me, anywhere your name is mentioned, people will laugh at you. Be very careful. We are on the precipice, the threshold of history. Freedom beckons. Don't allow them to deceive you. That is why this very evening I end with a testament that I tweeted a few hours ago, that what is happening in the zoo cannot happen in Biafra land. And it is my testament that every ethnic nationality in Biafra land, Urobo, Isoko, Igede, everybody, Igbo, Efiki Bibio, Idoma, everybody, Igala, everybody, every nationality, regardless of how small you are, if you like, be only 100 people, you are going to have your own confederation. You are going to be a nation within a nation. It's called confederacy. And we cannot be anything like Nigeria. God forbid. All ethnic nationalities in Biafra shall be autonomous. Not in name only, but by virtue of a permanent constitutional guarantee. Real power shall flow from down to top. The people will decide in everything we do. The people must decide. Not one idiot and president and prime minister. No. The people will decide. And that is what Britain doesn't want to see happen. Freedom for black people, they don't want it. What they want is artificial freedom, flag freedom. The war we are fighting now is a war of attrition, a war of hearts and minds. Colonialism was one of the worst things to happen to a black man, and slavery as well. But we are here to correct it, and we must do so. And on that note, we have come to the end of today's proceedings. I think I will be interviewed by Deutsche Welle, the German TV station broadcaster, by tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken, the 5th. And on Friday, I will be having a world press conference with my dear brother and colleague, the leader of Amazonia. We'll have a joint world press conference on Friday. And on that note, we'll bring today's proceedings to a fitting conclusion. I do not hate anybody, I assure you. I speak the way I do so that you may repent from your idiocy and stupidity. Because as a Nigerian, you are the embodiment of stupidity, I can guarantee you that. But with all the love in my heart, and prayers, of course, especially to myself and my family, because we are still mourning the passing of my mother-in-law, and to the family of Yinka Odumakin. Good evening.